Hold on tight because we've got a ton of exciting COD news to go over. They updated the Orion Camo, they added in new Nuke rewards, and we show what they look like. They talk about Season 2 Reloaded, they talk about Season 3, and so much more. I can't even preview it. And if you want to stay up to date with anything COD related, make sure to unlock that subscribe button. We just launched our brand new Update Requires Restart merch. If you want to check it out and support the channel, link to the description. But with that, let's roll right in, boys. The new camo menu is in game right now, and it's so much better. If you go to a weapon, go to the camo tab. The first 4 camos right here are the camos you earn by using this weapon. Then we've got the 4 completionist camo. Then we've got the weapon mastery tab, and at a moment's notice, you can see your progression. You can see I've done the first 3 weapon masteries, still missing the first one. You don't got to click in here to see this. If you want to see your exact progress, you can, but that's going to save a ton of time. And all the camos are organized. There's an all camos tab. These are all the other camos in the game. They're in different menus. I love selecting solid colors, so you don't have to scroll to them anymore. You just go to all camos, solid colors, and you select the one you want. Same thing if you got some specialty camos at the end you want to use. Those are easy to get to. Prior to this update, you had to scroll through a giant list of every camo to find what you want. This organization is huge, and it's going to save a ton of time with this game going in the future. Now I just wish they could do this for the calling card menu, because going through this calling card menu is a nightmare. It should be in little boxes like this to make it easier to navigate. There was some good quality of life updates when it comes to bundles and blueprints. For your Pro Tune blueprints, they're going to say exactly what they do at this menu here. The tracers are going to show at the bottom, and the whole menu just looks a lot better. But more importantly, if you go to customize, there is now a My Bundles tab. You're easily going to see all of the bundles you've bought and are got for free. As you can see, there was a lot of different gift packs, and the whole UI for it just looks better. If you click on one of these, it now in a single image gives you all the different information, shows you the reticle if it loads in. You can see it's having some issues loading in. Not perfect by any means, but yeah, all of this is just so much cleaner. This is a massive improvement. Prior to this update, looking at bundles and trying to see what you actually got just didn't work too well. And now it is just a way better menu. See, right here, you can see the reticle, you can see the tracer, you can see the death effect. This one, all the information right here, the vehicle skin. Unfortunately, you still can't preview finishing moves. You can't see what it looks like. You can see you can equip it. There's a quick equip menu. That's also new. You can now put it on your favorite class, easy equip it all. But hopefully in a future update, you'll actually be able to preview the finishing move without buying the bundle. So first they talk about the Path of Ronin in-game event, and there's been some confusion with this. The entire event is not currently live. There's only a handful of the challenges that can be done in-game right now, and over the next several weeks, they're going to add the rest of the challenges so you're able to complete this event, and this is how you get the crossbow. The crossbow cannot be obtained currently in-game, but you can get a head start and do some of the challenges now. If you load in-game, there's a new events tab. From here, you're going to see the entire event. Only the first 3 challenges are live. They can be done in both Warzone and MP. So the first one here in Warzone, finish in the top 10 5 times. The next one, restore honor 5 times in resurgent matches. Then we've got complete 5 bounty contracts. These could also be done in MP, but they reward the same reward. So it doesn't matter which one you do. There's no point in doing both of them. In MP, win 15 matches in any multiplayer game mode, get 100 objective defense kills, and then we've got 50 operator kills using Battle Rage. This one gets you a Rose Operator skin. This one gets you an emblem. This one gets you a calling card. We can see when the other ones are going to be live by hovering over it. So this one has 5 days left until you're able to do it. This one, once again, has 5 days left, so both these can be completed then. Then this one has 12 days, and this one has 12 days. So in 12 days is when you're going to be able to complete all of these and get the crossbow. Next, they talk about the new prestiges, and once again, there's been some confusion on this as well, because they keep saying different numbers. Originally, it said it was going to go to Prestige 10 with a level cap of 500. Then they backtracked and said it was only going to be Prestige 9 and level 450. But then when this blog post first came out, this just launched today, they said it was going to go to Prestige 9 again. So this appears to be the official prestige now. It is Prestige 9. There's no more typos. This is what's in game. And with new prestiges means there's new prestige mastery challenges. If you go to the calling card menu all the way to the bottom, you can see there's a Prestige 9 mastery, Prestige 8, Prestige 7, Prestige 6. I'm not going to read through all these, but you can look at the calling cards right here. They're semi-cool. Last season, I didn't even go for these, but I managed to get most of them just by playing. They're pretty basic stuff, like get 10 operator kills without dying 10 times. Moving on to the weapon changes, they've adjusted how tuning works in Modern Warfare 2. They've enabled tuning for the laser attachments. They've adjusted the positive and negative values. So what you had your weapons tuned for last season might not be the best for this season. They're going to feel a little bit different as those tuning values has changed, and they've went back to the Pro Tune blueprints and they've adjusted those for those new values. Now, moving on to the weapon buffs and nerfs, the M13B has been buffed, the Kastov 762 got a nerf, the Lockman 556 has increased semi-auto fire rate, the M14 also got a buff, the STB 556 had a bug fix. Now, the battle rifles are a little bit more complicated because most of these weapons have been buffed and nerfed in different ways. I'm going to show it all on screen right here. I'm not going to read through all of it, but for the most part, the semi-auto versions of all of these have been buffed and the full auto versions have been nerfed. There's a little bit more to it where some of the headshot multipliers and some of that stuff. And if there's a specific weapon you want to see, I know not a lot of people care too much about the battle rifles. All of it's on screen right here. Just pause and read for the weapon you want. All 4 of them have been adjusted. Next, we have the handguns. And yes, the X13 auto did get a nerf, but it also got a buff. This thing plagued Warzone in Season 1. Everyone ran this as akimbo as a secondary. And yes, reduced damage while using the akimbo. So the akimbo version of the X13 auto has been nerfed, but the rest of it got buffed. So when you're using one of them, it has increased lower body damage, increased close range damage, and increased damage at distances. So I think the single-willed X13 auto might be pretty good, but yeah, they definitely nerfed the akimbo version of it. We've also got changes for the launchers. The Strela removed activation distance for projectile. Projectile will now explode at any range. RPG 7, small increase to splash damage amount, small reduction to splash damage range. Now for the LMG nerfs, we all saw this coming. The RPK got a nerf in 4 different categories. They didn't make it useless. I was using it in DMZ earlier. It still feels pretty strong, but this should allow other weapons to compete with it pretty well. The RAL LMG got increased recoil. Now for the marksman rifles, the EBR-14, the LMS, and the TAC-QM all got added minimum damage against armor. The EBR got a nerf and a buff, and the TAC-QM got some buffs. The knife's lunge has been reworked, so now it's going to be more easy to hit equipment on the ground without lunging to something random. And in Warzone and DMZ, if someone's fully plated up, it's now going to take 3 knives instead of 2 to take them down. For SMGs, it was pretty much only nerfs. The 9K got a nerf. The mini back got quite a few nerfs. The Fennec also got a nerf as well. For sniper rifles, the Signal 50 got a nerf. We all saw that one coming. Then for attachments, reduced ADS penalty for bipods, fix an issue with choke attachment scaling hip fire spread incorrectly. We've got some adjustments for vehicles. Vehicle turrets now cool down faster if they don't overheat. Added EV charging stations for the GMC Hummer EV. Shooting windows no longer damage the vehicle itself. Make vehicle exit less likely to fail beneath low roofs. For vehicles, they fixed quite a few bugs. The notable one is they fixed the unlimited fuel glitch where you could do something to have unlimited fuel in vehicles, and they fixed the exploits where you could use vehicles to glitch into different walls and lock locations in DMZ and Warzone. We got some interesting audio adjustments. Proximity chat now fades out more effectively over distance, so the farther the enemy is away from you and talking in game chat, you should hear it more quietly. So it should be more realistic in terms of the proximity chat. If you hear them really loud, that means they're right next to you. If you hear proximity chat but it's kind of quiet, that means they're farther away, and you can use that to help determine where they are. As you get closer, they're going to get louder, and as long as you keep following the loudness, you might be able to track down enemies more easily. There was a ton of social adjustments. The important ones are they added a party finder option for the raid lobby, so if you're looking for people to do a raid with, you can now do that publicly, and it's going to pair you with other people. Might not be the best idea because you want to have mic communication because there's a lot of coordination that goes into a raid, but if you want to try it in a public lobby, you can do that. They improved the sorting of the friends list to prioritize playable and joinable players, and you can send a quick thank you message if someone revives you in DMZ and Warzone. The rest of this stuff was really kind of small things that most people aren't going to care about. There was a ton of bug fixes for the social menu. These aren't really worth reading through. The main important one is limited number of group notification pop-ups sent to group owners. If you saw on my screen or anyone who was in a group, there was tons of pop-ups being like, hey, this person joined your group, this person joined your group, this or that, this or that. They have now limited that number, so hopefully you're not going to get spammed a ton if you join a group that constantly has people joining into it. I didn't think this next update was going to happen, but I'm so glad I was wrong. Yes, the Orion Camo got updated once again. If you read the patch notes when they first came out, it actually said the polyatomic animation speed was increased. That was incorrect. It was a typo. They meant to say Orion. They have since clarified it, and loading into game, you can immediately notice that yes, the Orion Camo animation speed is a lot faster than it was before. You can actually see it moving in game now. This is the second time they've increased it. When the game first launched, you couldn't even tell that the Orion Camo moved. The first update made it move a little bit faster, but this one is quite a bit bigger. Unfortunately, they didn't change how the camo itself looks. I like the way Orion looks. I just don't like that pea yellow color in the middle. That's kind of, it just doesn't match the rest of it. I wish they'd make it a little bit more purple space-like and a little bit less of like the murky part in the middle. But yeah, I'm glad I got updated. If you have Orion, go in game, check it out, and you will notice the difference. Even more bug fixes. The important ones are address some issues blocking camo progression across certain weapons. So if prior to this update you were still having issues unlocking some camos, there were some bugs there, try again. Hopefully those have been fixed. Fix an exploit involving the use of a sentry gun and a recon drone. People were able to put sentry guns on top of recon drones. Yeah. Fix an issue where enemy markers persisted after the use of a spotter scope. This was called a permanent ping. You were able to ping someone with a spotter scope and it would just stay there permanently. You could see him through walls, and it happened almost every time you spotted someone with a spotter scope. So if you were ever getting tracked like through a wall in DMZ, it's probably because they pinged you with a spotter scope. That's now been fixed. They finally fixed the firing range so you can inspect weapons in it. Prior to this update, you have never been able to inspect weapons in firing range. At least I couldn't. I don't know if that bug affected anyone, but yes, after the update, I can finally inspect my weapons in the firing range with no issues. They also actually made some changes to the Spec Ops mode. You can now go to change playlist and you can see all the different modes here, and you can toggle on and off squad fill. I hated playing Spec Ops with a random player. A lot of times I'd rather just play by myself because I know what I was trying to do. I was either trying to get intel or do something other random, and having another player in there, usually they'd want to complete the mission and I'd be affecting them by not doing exactly what they were trying to do. So now you can turn it off. You can just not play with another person, which is huge. There's also a new playlist as well. There is now one in the chamber for low profile, and this works like the one in the chamber mode for multiplayer. Players start with 1 bullet in their clip. Players receive additional bullets for getting kills. On top of this, there was a bunch of other tiny fixes for the raid mode and Spec Ops. I'm not going to read through all this because it's just a bunch of small glitch fixes, but it is going to be on screen if you want to pause and read through it. Now for the new Warzone updates, obviously they just added in the brand new map. It can only be played in Resurgence quads for the time being with a max players of 52. They give us a ton of stuff here. We're only talking about the new information that was just released today. New score events. In addition to the traditional score events, we've added new ways to shorten the respawn timer for your squad members, eliminating an enemy player via headshot, eliminating an AI combatant, capturing a data heist uplink point. If you move more than 25 meters while your teammate is dead, if you eliminate a player while they're being tracked by the hunt mechanic, you eliminated more than 3 players while they were being tracked by the hunt mechanic, you broke all of an enemy player's active armor plates, you got an elimination while a squad member was down, you got an elimination while being the last living member of your squad. Hunt and track mechanic. At any point during a match, eliminating an enemy player will display their squad members for a few seconds on the minimap. This one's specific to solos. Eliminating an enemy player will display their location upon redeployment for 10 seconds. Here's some additional information about the new map. Strongholds are disabled. Weapons found via ground loot always have attachments. Blue Resurgence supply boxes restock after 90 seconds. Both restore honor tags, and elimination show red dots on the minimap. Enemy AI combatants only spawn during data heist public event or during search and seizure contract. This next one's really big. They've enabled private matches for Battle Royale. So yes, you can host a Warzone private match. I think you need close to 50 people to be able to start it. And the spectating feature for private matches will be enabled at a later date. Next, they added the counter UAV into Warzone. They've also added redeploy packs into Warzone as well. This new tactical equipment will give players another shot at victory. They can be found in ground loot on some buy stations and are guaranteed from completing strongholds in the black site missions. Strongholds and black sites. AI combatant damage decreased, assault rifle damage decreased to 22, down from 34, shotgun damage decreased to 15, down from 17. AI combatants in strongholds or black sites will evacuate the area during the third final circles. So yes, AIs have been nerfed in Warzone. I'm so glad the shotgun one got nerfed. That is by far the most annoying out of all of them. Then this next one's extremely interesting. Yes, the Champions Quest. This is the Nuke in Warzone. They have made some changes to it. Players may notice an adjustment to the difficulty, so they've made getting the Nuke in Warzone a little bit harder, but they also changed up some of the rewards. A new weapon blueprint reward is now available for completing the Champions Quest. The Season 1 FTAC Recon Brass Tracks weapon blueprint reward has been vaulted. all other Champions Quest rewards are the same. And here it is. This is the new blueprint you get for getting a nuke in Warzone for Season 2. This is so much better than the last one. The last one was for the FTAC Recon, and if you missed out on it, don't worry. Just run the normal FTAC Recon, because the blueprint really didn't look any different from the normal version. This looks so much different than the normal Victus XMR. You can tell this is from the nuke reward because it looks like a nuke in and of itself. It's got the Warzone Champion logo on the side of it. This is a fantastic looking blueprint. I really hope I'm able to grind and get for this. And I wonder if every single season they're going to change the blueprint reward you get for getting a nuke in Warzone. Because, yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't get this myself. This is from EthanStellar on Twitter. I'm going to leave him linked below. Huge congrats for him getting this blueprint and figuring out what it looked like. You're now able to select and edit loadouts and pre-match lobbies for Warzone, which is going to save a lot of time. We've got even more bug fixes. They fixed collision issues with custom loadouts. People were able to duplicate the revive pistol. There was issues with the Champions Quest where the bomb site would cause some physics issues. You were able to fuse stronghold bombs through walls. There's a bunch of stuff here, but nothing crazy important. And yes, there's more. Not only did they give us all that information about the Season 2 update, they gave us a sneak peek for Season 2 Reloaded and some information about Season 3 as well. This is by far the biggest blog post I've ever read through. As soon as you think it's done, it just keeps on going. We can't wait for you to drop in all the action with Season 2, but Season 2 Reloaded is just around the corner with new content and a limited time holiday event. Players can look forward to a brand new raid episode, new multiplayer modes, and a new 6v6 map and more. Here's what the 6v6 map looks like. It's got some snow up there. It's very bright and vibrant. It's got a pool in the middle. So hopefully it's a good map. We'll just have to wait and see for Season 2 Reloaded. Then we've got Season 3 information. Gunfight returns to multiplayer with new maps each season. Plunder returns to Warzone. Warzone ranked confirmed. So Gunfight's a lot of fun. I love grinding that out, getting those blueprints. Gunfight tournament is really fun. Plunder returns for people who like Plunder. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's great for them. Warzone ranked. I'm not a huge Warzone player, but I've been having a lot of fun with the multiplayer ranked play that they just added in with Season 2. And there's a ton of grindable rewards. That's going to be really cool. If they give Warzone ranked as much support as ranked play for multiplayer, there's going to be so much different stuff to do. And for a Warzone player, that is a ton of content. But boys, we are finally done. We are at the end. I'm sorry if this video is long. I'm kind of losing my voice now. I didn't expect for it to go on this long, but if you only wanted to get some certain information, hopefully the timestamps were able to find you and get what you needed. If you're new here and want to see more condensed information for COD in a rapid style format, make sure to sub to this channel. If you'd like to like or comment, I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.